most important skill for a software tester? From my perspective and my experience, I would pick communication over other skills, because you need to communicate the testing that you're going to do, the bug that you're going to find. You need to be a communication between developer. You need to deal with developer. You need to deal with product manager. You need to deal with CIO, maybe your CEO. So you need to be able to communicate at different layer of your organization. That's very important. And in a lot of ways, QA organizations are like a central place where all information comes and go. And so you need to be able to articulate, all information coming in and try to give it back to, different type of people. So I think communication is key for any testers.
The most important skill a tester needs is the ability to be able to think. And the reason behind that is testing is not about checking and ticking boxes. It's about thinking and asking the question, what is the problem and is there a problem?
Yes, for me the most important quality and skill of a tester is analytical and technical, because if you only test functionality and you don't dig any deeper than that, you often see very much issues in production. So for me you have to have technical analytical knowledge.
I think it's the ability to stand back and take as an objective a look as possible about what's going on, and to think about that and present from his or her thoughts, not simply react emotionally.
And for a tester, the most important skill is communication at all contexts. We have to be able to describe abstract things to the developers, project management, product owners, business owners, and so on. And at that, we have to be able to be clear and understandable people.
I think the most important trait or skill that a test manager can have is communication, because no matter how the testing is going, good or bad, good, bad or ugly for that matter, if you can't communicate the message in a really effective manner, the message might get lost. Once the message is lost, the reports you're generating out of testing that talk about the quality of the product, etc., will get missed by the people you're communicating with. So definitely communication, I think, is the most important skill.
It really depends. For example, it depends on the industry that you're in. Some industry are based on heavy business rules that the tester needs to have knowledge about, and whenever they testing, they need to be thorough and very critical to the test cases they're doing, as well as they need to be very have the skill of covering all the test cases. So I would say critical and thorough is the most important skill in this kind of mission critical systems or mission critical industries.
But I would say it was a passion and enthusiasm for testing, to really get in there, focus day in day out. I know it's hard to be passionate occasionally when you come to a job, but that's what I love to see.
I would say, in my opinion and from my experience, the most important skill would be knowing what battles to pick, because no matter what it is, you're always gonna have less time than you were told up front, and there's always gonna be pressure. And so for me it's important to know when to give up, how to prioritize stuff, because at the end you don't just want to tick off some points. You actually want to make a difference.
I think the most important skill for the tester is to learn, to be able to kind of take in new information. The reason for that and the context is that you get new applications coming through as a tester. You need to be able to understand what the features are, what the functionality is, and possibly those requirements aren't written down, so you have to play around with the software, learn, Google it, search, ask questions to the developers, ask questions to the users, and the main reason for that is that way you can find bugs, make sure that the software works as intended, and it helps you with your job.
A tester doesn't need to have one particular skill for a certain job. He has to have many skills to do his job properly. So there is no one skill that is above all, but there is a combination of skills. And I think curiosity would be one, intelligence, the need for a better software, better world would be skills that I would admire in a tester.
I think the most important skill as a tester is that you question everything and never give up.
Somebody with an exploratory testing mind, somebody who can think outside the box and apply it to any given product or situation, and basically use any random method to test the product.
And the one skill I think testers need to have the most is a thinking skill, and that's in any context. Testers need to be able to think and learn and interact with their products so that they can provide valuable information to their stakeholders.
So the most important skill for a tester, I feel, is an obvious one. It's communication. Communicating with so many different stakeholders across an organisation, particularly with developers, is a key requirement as far as I'm concerned.
What is the most important quality for a tester is that he's not an agile tester, because agile has become a hype. And problems with hypes are that they are overrated, overacted, and that they are just too far away from what real testing is.